Welcome to Cool Breeze Over the Mountains, a podcast where we chronologically step through and discuss each film starring Keanu Reeves. My name is Andrew Gormley, and I am one of your hosts. I am joined on this very special episode by both of my co-hosts, Whitney Nelson.
Yes, that's me. Hello.
And Evan Wells.
Hi there.
What are we doing here today?
We're reckoning.
We are reckoning.
With some potentially bad choices, some of us, and others
potentially
might not have anything to reckon for at all. They might have they might have nailed it on the first try. I'm not naming names.
Oh man.
If you've been following along, and if you're listening to this episode, surely you have to have been. We've been ranking our Keanu movies as we've watched them. And in this episode, we're going to make things right.
We are.
Because
some things got very wrong.
I can't speak for my co-hosts, but I really messed up the rankings along the way. So this gives me a little bit of a redemption arc, and I'm thankful for that. This also bookends season 1 of Cool Breeze Over the Mountains. I'm super excited about that as well. We did it. We got through this.
Yep, we done did it. We're here.
We've seen now 21 movies, 21 Keanu movies, which is, that's a lot. We're a third-ish of the way through his catalog now.
We did work.
Of the ones we've watched that we hadn't seen previously, do any of these stand out to you as something like it brought unexpected joy into your life?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, I kind of hoped that would be the case.
Yeah, I mean, I made it pretty clear back then, so if you really want the in-depth reasoning why, go back and listen to it. But I think the big thing for me and what I really stuck with it is it was nice humor. Like, it was never punching down. And it was such a beautiful example of non-toxic masculinity in a friendship, with the exception of the one gay joke that I hated.
Yeah.
It was just so much more warm-hearted than I was expecting, because when you look at all the reviews, like, everyone talks about how stupid the characters are, and you get sort of a slapsticky, like, dude, where's my car sort of a vibe from the reviews. Yeah. And so only having heard that and never having seen the movie, I was expecting it to be funny, but not to be heartwarming. And then it was so heartwarming that it really genuinely took me by surprise.
That's delightful. That's how I feel about Bill and Ted also. So
unexpected joy. I mean, I laughed at some of these movies, but I'm going to say some of these movies.
Let me phrase it a different way. Of the movies of his that you hadn't seen, are there any of these that you feel like you might return to?
I mean, I think I'll return to some of these, but I think a third way that I would look at it is not necessarily that brought me joy, but that I was surprised by, right? Yeah. That I think My Own Private Idaho kind of stuck with me.
Interesting. Okay.
And, for various reasons, feel free, listener, to revisit that amazing episode. But yeah, I think that movie, looking at this list, is one that I've spoken about the most after to like friends and family.
My Own Private Idaho is an interesting choice, because I still that is barely in my new top 10. So what?
Oh boy!
Like, what is it specifically about that movie? I mean, I'm sure if we revisit the episode, you speak, more specifically about it. But like at a broad level, what is it that stuck with you? Was it like the storytelling, or was it the actual, like, the character development? Like, is there like one specific aspect of that movie that you really enjoyed?
I mean, I just think it was technically great. And okay. It was cool to watch. Just aside from everything else, it was well shot, and there were some interesting things that they did in that movie, and that made sense, and somehow made sense, right? And I don't know. It just it was really a beautifully shot movie. And then, the story too. The story is pretty unique, and it's pretty, it could be kind of gut-wrenching at points, depending on kind of how you looked at it. And those movies for me that are kind of packed with emotion are going to stick with me for a little while. So I'm an emotional guy. What can I say?
Fun. Okay, look. Hey, no judgments here.
Andrew, what was yours?
I think, I don't know if this comes as a surprise to either of you. I hope, and it's probably joy for you, Whitney. It's Much Ado About Nothing for me.
Yes,
What?
it is.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is this movie? Came out of nowhere for me. Again, not something.
Love it.
Again, go back, revisit the episode. I feel like I was very excited. I still am very excited about that movie. Never something I would have sought out. And so happy. Just an overall great, great film. Definitely one that I would easily recommend.
It's a good movie.
It's just such a feel-good movie also. It's very heartwarming in a very different way from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but still right up there. Okay, so the way that we're doing the seasons is basically by 10-year increments.
Yeah.
So we've done 85 to 94. And now we're going to do 95 to 2004. What in the next coming decade of films are you most excited to see?
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
This is where we get into some huge, huge Keanu Reeves stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Johnny Mnemonic is the next one, but we also have The Devil's Advocate, which is huge.
Oh,
The Matrix
great movie.
is huge.
Right.
So wait, we're going to 2005, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, 2000.
4-ish.
Well,
somewhere in that area.
2005.
Because I don't think he actually made any movies in 2004, so.
Yeah, Devil's Advocate is just a great movie. Obviously, I'm excited for The Matrix. Chain Reaction is so fun.
Yeah.
Some of these I don't recognize, right? Like Sweet November. I don't recognize that.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Ellie Parker. I don't recognize Thumbsucker. Some of these that's cool too, right? That we're getting into much more modern movies, and there's still titles that I don't recognize. So that's
Oh yeah, there's titles I don't recognize that came out like last year.
right. Yeah.
You're like, what?
That's the thing about someone who's so prolific like Keanu Reeves is I literally, there's stuff that came out in 2018 that I am like, what is that even?
Just today, somebody asked if they should sit down and watch Replicas. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, that's a Keanu Reeves movie. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if you should watch that one. It looks like it came out after John Wick. So I would say probably not. No, I don't know. On one of these episodes, and an intrepid listener might be able to tell me, I bet Whitney $20 that she would love The Replacements.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say about what I'm most excited about. Because, like, obviously there's ones that I've seen that I am excited to see again. The Matrix is one. There's a lot of them. Something's Gotta Give is such a great movie. And seeing that, I haven't seen it since it came out, I think. And so seeing it again, 15 years later or something, with this whole different perspective on Keanu Reeves and who he is in that part, I'm excited for. I've never seen Johnny Mnemonic. I wouldn't say I'm excited for that, but I'm not excited for that. But like definitely after what we've done so far in the podcast, the thing that I have not seen that I am most excited to see is 100% The Replacements. And that's all Andrew.
Yes!
That's all you're doing.
The hype train rolls on. I don't want to build it up too much. I mean, it's too late. I already have. However, it's a really solid. The cast is like pretty incredible. Start there, and then it's a football movie that got me to actually care, which few of those have. You name some football movies, and I'm like,
I always
don't care.
thought that I would not care about it at all for that reason, that sports movies in general just don't really do it for me. They're so formulaic.
Yes.
And that's not necessarily the fault of the movies. That's more the fault that they're about a subject matter that is a formula. So like the win, lose, whatever kind of a thing, like you're always going to have that. And it's not even how I necessarily feel about sports. It's just sports movies always feel the same to me over and over and over again. So for you to not really be into sports movies or movies about football and to feel the way you do about it is part of what made me so excited for it, because I'm generally just not interested. But this one seems like I might actually get a lot out of it.
Yeah, it's funny. which is helpful. Usually sports movies are something of a dour affair, really.
Yes.
It's like, oh, or an underdog story, but it's rising up. I'm thinking of like, what was a technically great football movie? Okay, I got it. I thought of it. The Blind Side, right? Is that what that movie was called with Sandra Bullock?
I think it was Blind Side, yeah.
That movie was excellent, right? If that's the name of the movie I'm thinking of. The one where she basically kind of fosters this. Yep. But, I watched it and I'm not going to revisit it again. Whereas I've seen The Replacements like 3 times and I don't really watch. Yeah. So that's, that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Is it better or worse than Remember the Titans, though? That, to me, is the quintessential sports movie.
Right. You could rattle off a bunch. I would say, Remember the Titans. You could say Rudy. Some people would probably throw television. You say Friday Night Lights in there, maybe. I don't know how you make that distinction. Remember the Titans, again, I've seen, and then that's it. I watched it once. So take from that what you will. You've listened to me talk about movies 21-ish times now. So, I'm unreliable at best, but I like Keanu Reeves, though. So does Remember the Titans have Keanu Reeves is my question to you.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'd say The Devil's Advocate for me, which is coming up really soon, is like, that's a movie where, oh man, I saw that. Maybe I was probably not old enough to have seen that movie for sure.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that I am so curious to see how we all do that, because we were all impressionable the last time that we saw The Devil's Advocate, and like what I took away from that movie then versus what I will take away from it now is going to be so different. But I think I was like 14 when I saw The Devil's Advocate. And so like the impression that it made on me and the gut feeling that I have when I think about The Devil's Advocate as a 14-year-old is going to be so different than seeing it now as like a 35-year-old. That's going to be a very, very different experience. And I'm curious to see how it changes my perspective of the film. I'm also curious to see how it ages, because I feel like there's a lot of PC stuff, and obviously it's not a PC movie.
Sure.
I'm curious to see how it ages in that regard, in like political correctness, because I think that there's going to be some stuff that I have an issue with now that I would not have had an issue with before.
It's very possible. That movie is controversial in a lot of different kinds of ways, and I only get flashes of images from it. I'm like, oh man,
me too. I have a very, very strong sense of emotion when I think about that movie, and like images brought up, but I can't actually remember situations or conversations that are had in that movie. So that one's going to be interesting for all of us, I think.
I'm ready.
That's your episode too, Whitney. That's going to be real fun. I'm interested. All right, that's going to be a fun one. So that's the next 10 years. We got a lot.
I'm not super pumped about watching A Walk in the Clouds again.
I've never seen it, so I have no strong opinion about that.
I don't think it's bad, and I don't want to like sway anybody, because at the time it got a lot of very good press from what I remember. I just don't feel like it's one of those that you need to see again after you've seen it. I'm trying to think of a movie that I would consider comparable to A Walk in the Clouds, and I can't really.
Does he have any other movies that are like that? Just from this title, I'm thinking it's some sort of romantic or like a drama, maybe. I have no even concept of what it is.
It's a drama.
All right.
And it's romance too.
I'd actually wager the majority of the movies in the next 10 years I have not seen or have no recollection of, right? Like A Walk in the Clouds. I don't think I've seen Feeling Minnesota. It sounds familiar, but it could just be like, I remember that poster from the cinema.
Right.
The last time I committed suicide. Nope. Most of the next 10 years is all Matrix stuff anyway. So that's fine.
I mean, we've got a lot of Matrix coming up in season 2, so
maybe
that's going to be fun.
We do a crossover with the Enter the Matrix video game here.
It could be, every movie we aren't familiar with is terrible, and we still get all 3 Matrixes, so that's going to be fun to talk about regardless.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Both in like positive stuff and in like having a fun time bashing it stuff. Because some of the sequels to the Matrix there's some stuff there.
That's what I want to get into, because that is the number one thing that people brought up where they're like, I can't wait for you to get to the Matrix sequels. And I remember at the time, I was like, wow, these are not very good at all. And I'm just wondering
How dare you?
If there's something under the surface that we all missed the first time. I don't know. I just want to give the Wachowskis the benefit of the doubt and say, maybe it's deeper. Maybe we're all just taken in by the spectacle and there's something else there.
It's deeper.
I'm hoping
we're all alive to be Duracell batteries. How does it get any deeper than that?
I know it's
But see, that's actually my issue is I think that it shouldn't be deeper. I think that we went as deep as we should go in the Matrix. And I think that trying to put too much heavy-handed meaning on it is what made them not good.
I'm just excited for the twins in the sequel because they're so badass.
They're ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Right. And there's a werewolf, I think, also, and a vampire. There's a Dracula in there, maybe.
Sure. Why not?
I think there is. I really, truly think there is.
It's basically like a Scooby-Doo episode.
You meddling kids. Oh, I love it. I love it. We got a lot coming up in the next 10 years. I'm very excited. And I'm again, thank you both for joining me on this journey here. I think by the end of this year, we'll probably be pretty close to, probably come right up, maybe surpass that 50 episode thing if we play our cards right. So this will be a great accomplishment overall.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the last 10 years of Keanu's career. Yeah. The one thing I wanted to ask is, we just watched Speed, which crushed.
So fun.
It's just
so fun.
Great.
And
so fun.
Stirred up a lot of debate on the interwebs about whether it's better than Die Hard or not. Jury's still out. I let that poll run for 7 days.
The jury is not entirely out, though. Like, yeah, we've got 5 days left on the poll as of recording. We'll still have a couple days left on the poll as of when it goes out, I think, maybe not. No, it'll be done by the time this comes out.
It'll wrap on the day that this comes out.
Anyway, as of right now, there are 5 days left in the poll. With 28 people voting, Speed is 68% in the lead.
I know, but we are pandering to a crowd.
I don't think that the jury really is out. I think we're pretty sure what the jury's going to come back with here.
I wish I could have a Die Hard person retweet it, or a larger, some other larger, two larger accounts retweet it to a huge audience.
We definitely have a skewed fan base, but we're always going to have a skewed fan base because we're about Keanu Reeves. Right. So if we're pitting a Keanu Reeves movie against another movie, there's always going to be a little bit of bias there. But I actually I'm shocked at the results being that big a difference. Almost 70% in favor of Speed with 28 people voting is so much more of a lead than I would have expected it to have. I would have expected it to be closer to 50-50. I legitimately thought it was going to be controversial when I said that Speed is better than Die Hard so factually, and it turns out that a lot of people agree with me.
You're right. And then there are those other people that are like, I haven't seen either, or I haven't seen Die Hard, and I'm sitting here thinking, you've missed out on so much. Mm-hmm. Just go watch Die Hard. I'm not saying watch it over Speed. If you haven't seen either, watch Speed first, and then watch, as one of our friends so eloquently put it, Speed in an office building. And then tell us what you think.
Even if the poll's over, tweet at us, because I want to hear what people have to say about it.
Yeah.
As far as these last 10 years, ending with Speed, how far has he come as an actor in your eyes?
So far. Crazy far.
Is he a movie star now?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. I think so for sure. And I think Speed is kind of what did it. Like, we've seen some stuff before where we've seen the chops and we've seen the presence. And I definitely think that has improved over time. But I think Speed was where it was like, this guy is carrying this movie. And it's not that the movie was struggling and needed someone to carry it, but he just had so much presence on the screen and did such a good job of not overplaying it. Like, it's easy with something that's all action and all continually ramping up tension and whatever to get over the top with your expressions or you know, your how seriously you're taking the situation or whatever. And I think that he did a really, really good job of seeming realistic and seeming serious, and it never went over the top for me to the point where it was silly. I also like action movies that go into silly. Like, I love the Fast and the Furious movies, so I'm not opposed to going into silly, but I think that this movie really benefited from having so much quippy dialogue, but being so serious, and Keanu really pulled that off. And I also think, we talked about this, my number one thing is Keanu Reeves does not have chemistry with people romantically. And that's part of the reason why he's gotten such a bad reputation as an actor, especially in the early years, was because he kept being put in like leading man romance roles. And I don't think that's where he should be. I think this one definitely proved me wrong, at least in this case, because they had a lot of chemistry and you could see it happening in a way that felt very real between Sandra Bullock and him. So I definitely think that we have seen him become a star in very recent movies. And I definitely think that we've seen it improving in his acting chops for sure.
Yeah. So much of it is dependent on, I mean, what Whitney is basically saying is the movie itself. So if you put him in the right setting, he's going to be a star. And unfortunately, I think he had a lot of times where they were like square hole round peg with Keanu. And it's just like, no, that's not where he's going to shine. But you put him in something like Speed or something like Point Break, or what else up here? I mean, those are probably the most classic examples, and he just takes off.
I do think that Keanu Reeves, so far, what we've seen is definitely different from some actors. Like, you get actors who shine in the role regardless of whether it's the right one or not. Like, I'm trying to think of somebody who's been in a lot of crappy movies but is always good in them. William H. Macy is a good example.
There you go.
William H. Macy is great in whatever he's in, whether it's the right part for him or not, or whether it's the right, you know, role for him or not. He always like brings it super hard. I think Keanu Reeves is not one of those actors. I think a lot with Keanu Reeves, I think he takes a lot of stuff, and I think he's very open to the kinds of roles that he takes. But I think when you're casting Keanu Reeves, there's certain things that work for him and certain things that just don't. And I think that he's one of those that definitely has a lot of chops and is a very good actor, but is not necessarily as universally applicable as some actors who can kind of melt into whatever they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if, just by the very like nature of the projects that he takes on being so varied, that is what lends him to having some misses, some pretty big misses too. But I kind of appreciate the swing, right? But based off everything he's done so far, I would say that all of these wins far outweigh whatever I would consider to be some of these like duds, really.
Yeah.
So we have covered 21 of his movies. But let's keep in mind that he also had a few TV series, right? And then like 6 or 7 TV movies that we didn't bother to cover, whether it was through we couldn't find it, or it was like 3 hours long in the case of Babes in Toyland or something like that. So the dude, I don't know. I just have like an admiration for him that is unlike some of even his contemporaries.
Well, I mean, we've had this conversation before in episodes of, if we were to do this again with a different actor, it would be very, very, very hard for us to find an actor who would give us this kind of range in movie.
Yeah.
If you're doing a, you know, like a Bruce Willis, you're going to get a lot of one kind of movie and not too much of other stuff. If you're doing a Meryl Streep, like, she's made a ton of movies, but you're going to get a lot of one kind of movie and not too much else in that. Like, her career has really strayed in one way or another. You don't get slapstick comedies and period pieces and Shakespeare and, you know, like, just, he's been so all over the map. There are not many actors who are that all over the map. And I think that that's part of his willingness to take on a bunch of different kinds of roles. And I definitely don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that we've seen him miscast multiple times in the last 10 years of movies.
Sure.
And I know for a fact that we continue to see that happen throughout his career.
Oh, it's fine. He'll just do John Wick forever. And then whatever he does in between John Wicks, we'll watch. And then, that's cool. Siberia?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
We'll
I don't
support
care.
you,
As long as I keep getting John Wick, you can do whatever you want, Keanu.
I'm only going to those other movies to make sure that you keep making John Wick movies.
Exactly.
That's true. I'm here for Keanu, not whatever else is happening here. Not all these other people in the credits. Let's be very clear about what's going on here. I wanted to compare him because, Whitney, you touched on a point that I think is really good. So I know he's something of a controversial. I don't want to talk about whatever his actual life is like, but take a look at what Tom Cruise has done in these 10 years also. I'm just going to rattle through these really quickly.
Okay. The same decade, like 85 to 94.
I'm actually going to start in 83 because that's Risky Business, right? But Risky Business, All the Right Moves,
Great.
Top Gun, Color of Money, Cocktail, Rain Man, Born on the 4th of July, Days of Thunder, Far and Away, A Few Good Men, and The Firm. Oh, and Interview with a Vampire, right? Those are great. Like, I'm not going to knock any of those.
There's quite a few really good ones in there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
However, Tom Cruise is essentially the same guy, with the exception of maybe, I don't know, A Few Good Men, which you could argue, right? But he is that same guy.
Yep.
And it's wildly entertaining to watch, but the range is so focused.
Yeah. Even in like Rain Man, he's not that different from Cocktail Tom Cruise.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. It's a very similar role that he's playing in a bunch of different movies, and he's doing it well, and they're good movies. But you definitely don't get the range out of that at all of like what we've covered with Keanu Reeves in the same time period. Not even close.
Yeah.
They're bringing Top Gun back.
Which is, and it's going to be the same, quite literally same guy, same character.
Same movie.
I'll go see it. Clearly, I'm going to go see it. But
obviously.
The only time that Tom Cruise broke character for me is in Tropic Thunder when he played the like goofy agent with the huge forearms or whatever, which was like,
it didn't go well.
It didn't, but I enjoyed that movie. But yeah. I'm looking through the absolute rest of his stuff, and he is, without a doubt, the same character. It works for him. I go see most of his films. I'll say the Mission Impossible ones for sure. But yeah, it's interesting to chart that trajectory to see, wow, this guy does all the same stuff. And look at what Keanu's up to. That didn't work, but nice attempt. There's something for everyone in Keanu's wheelhouse. And Tom Cruise, if you like this kind of movie, don't go to him for like a period drama or anything like that, where Keanu actually has one or two of those. So kind of cool.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we want to talk about before we get to our actual reckoning here?
No, I do just want to say, because it just came out, and like when John Wick 3 came out, we talked about it, even though we're going to have an episode about it down the road. Toy Story 4, I have not seen yet, but someone texted me immediately after coming out of the theater to say that Toy Story 4 was delightful and Keanu Reeves crushed it.
He did. I saw it.
You did?
You know when you watch a Pixar movie and there's that moment, and usually there's several, but there's like one moment where it's like literal chills. You're like, oh my God, they set all these pieces up just perfectly for this exact moment. That moment was with Keanu's character, Duke
Awesome.
Kaboom. And I was like, oh my God, it was glorious. It was really well done.
I love it. I want to, obviously we're going to have episodes for all these Keanu movies as they come out. But I also, now that we're in the podcast, we should be talking about them. Like we talked about Always Be My Maybe and that sort of stuff. So I just wanted to bring up very quickly what's going on in Keanu news right now as we're doing this, which is Toy Story 4 being out. And I want to go see it, but I'm so bad at seeing things in the theaters that if it's not something like John Wick 3, where I'm buying tickets 3 weeks ahead of time, I maybe never see it.
True.
I'm going to see Toy Story 4 for sure, but I just wanted to bring it up because someone immediately texted me. They literally were still in the movie theater, had not left the building yet, and they had to text me because of how good Keanu was in Toy Story. So
that's awesome.
I can't personally vouch for it, but if you're debating whether or not to go see it, based on this one friend's recommendation, I say yes, do it.
Yeah, it's the what was going around was it's the highest rated movie where every review starts with "they shouldn't have made this," and I'm like, yes, it's true. It's absolutely true. They shouldn't have made this. However, it's incredible. So with that, let's get to this reckoning that we're talking about here. We're talking about the movies. Some of the mistakes we made, movies that move up, movies that move down. And in the case of maybe one of us, movies that don't move at all. Some people are just too adept at ranking things. They don't have to be they don't have to be arsed with the concept of mistakes at all. So let's talk about the movies that maybe moved the most for us. Whitney, do you wanna start off with maybe a movie that moved the most for you?
So the movie that moved the most for me was actually very surprising.
Uh-oh.
The movie that moved the most for me was Even Cowgirls Get the Blues.
Oh, boy.
Which moved up 4 places in my list.
All right. What happened?
It was below Flying, and it was below The Night Before, and it was below Youngblood, and I looked at all of those 3 movies, and I thought about when we had watched them, and I was like, if I were to have all 4 movies in front of me and I have to put one in to watch tonight, what would it be? And it would be Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. Even though there was so much that I didn't like about it and so much that just didn't work, I still think, and maybe that's just due to the cast being who it was or whatever, but it just, if you said you have to watch one of these tonight, which one would it be? Even Cowgirls Get the Blues kept beating other things out.
All right.
Wow.
So that was kind of my criteria, because I definitely still don't recommend it. It definitely still is low on my list, but I had it down at number 19 and it is now at number 15. The other thing is, and we talked about this, we had an idea that this might happen for me, but Tune In Tomorrow moved up to being in my top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's number 10 on my list. It was number 13. So it's not a huge jump, but it is like, I think the top 10 is definitely something that's the most important when you're doing this reckoning. Like the bottom couple, I'm always going to be curious in what the bottom few movies are, but then like the top 10 is going to consistently change and whatever. And Tune In Tomorrow moved up to be in number 10 in my top 10.
Wow.
That's a pretty prestigious spot. Yeah.
Yeah. River's Edge moved down 3 places. That was the biggest downward move, was River's Edge.
Okay. All right.
And my top 4 the same. Much Ado About Nothing stays the same. Bill and Ted stays the same. Parenthood. I did move Point Break up 1.
Okay.
Because I think that I, in retrospect, do like it more than My Own Private Idaho. But literally those 2 just switch places.
Okay.
So my Point Break moved up 1 place and My Own Private Idaho moved down 1 place, but those 2 are basically in the same spots. They just switched around because I do think I like Point Break a little bit more. Those are the big ones. That's what's notable. And The Prince of Pennsylvania and One Step Away are still my bottom 2.
Yes. Okay. On that, we all still agree. So
yes,
they stay far, far down. And we just keep trying to forget about those.
So yeah, that's my reckoning.
Unbelievable. I think that all checks out. I think those are some smart moves. That's a really solid top 5 there. I dig it. Evan. Go ahead.
Hey.
Tell us everything. Give us the scoop. What are you reckoning with?
I didn't reckon.
Your list.
I reckon that my list is mighty fine.
Nothing on you put everything here. You're like, you went back, you thought, you were looking at it, you're like, permanent record. Huh. That is better than Little Buddha and Dracula.
It is. Dude, Dracula was weird, and it was just, especially after we like actually talked about its meaning and everything, it just kind of I wasn't into it. And then I think I just had like I was excited for permanent record. from when we started this because I remembered it from a long time ago, and I remembered it being like raw and exactly what it was, and I don't know. There's a little bit of like nostalgia, I guess, attached to that, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
It is really good. I feel like it's one of the most honest emotionally out of all of the movies we've seen so far. So that's why it's still in my top 10 too.
Right. But I was interested in how much Tune In Tomorrow moved up for you, Whitney, and that has me thinking, but I still think it's right. I stared at it. I'm obviously you can hear that I'm staring at it now, but and second guessing, but I just couldn't find anywhere that I wanted to rejigger.
Okay. I mean, you won't get another opportunity to do it until the season 2 reckoning, and then it'll be even more difficult. So,
oh my God,
you can think on it if you want. I could take over because I got some big moves.
Yeah,
for
big moves.
No, I'm good. It's locked in. You go ahead.
All right. We're talking about Tune In Tomorrow. This movie stole my heart in a big way. I don't even know why. I actually can't tell you why I like this movie so much.
Well, because we all didn't super love it at the time. Like, we were pretty hard on it, and there was a lot of things still, like thinking about it now, that didn't play very well. There's a lot of story stuff that doesn't make sense, but I think there's just this charm element to it that outlasts in my memory more so than most of these movies. Like, we've watched some of these movies not that long ago, and Tune In Tomorrow, I still have the like flavor of that more than I have ones that we watched a month ago.
Yeah. I've watched I've revisited Tune In Tomorrow. That's like, I've like watched it again. I've had it on, like, it's like a background watch, but that was the one that I saw it out. I was like, you know what, I'm going to put this one on again. And I could not even, I really can't explain why. It jumped up 5 spots for me into
a lot.
Into the top 10, like above Dracula and River's Edge. So that's it, below permanent record though. So let's keep it all in check here, people. But still, I really enjoyed that one. The biggest move down for me is Brotherhood of Justice. So that was in the top 10. And that dropped down. That
definitely should not have been in your top 10.
It shouldn't have been. Again, that was one of the big, I truly regret putting it as high as it was and keeping it there long after the fact. That was at my number 8 spot, and it is now at my number 15 spot, which I feel like that's probably where that kind of belongs, somewhere in that range outside of top 10. And then Dangerous Liaisons moved up a couple. Basically, the whole middle of the list rejiggered for me, but the top 5 and the bottom 5 stayed exactly the same. So it's everything in the middle. That's about that was about it for me. Tune In Tomorrow is like it's my little darling in this first 10 years here. I'm like, this was delightful. I can't explain why. Go watch it. I'm looking at some of these other ones. I can't believe that we watched some of these movies, to be honest with you. Prince of Pennsylvania. And even I Love You to Death. It's I don't know.
I wanted to like I Love You to Death so much. I really wanted to. I love Kevin Kline. I love the idea of a true story that's sort of a weird murder farce. Like, everything about I Love You to Death should be 100% up my alley.
Right.
And it just was not a good movie. Literally everything about it. Like, you should look at the description for I Love You to Death and think, Whitney might like that movie. But it just was not a good movie. I was so sad.
It all fell apart.
It did.
Sad stuff. I guess, we all have these rankings indicate our worst. We pretty much all universally agree on that. Prince of Pennsylvania, One Step Away.
Well, yeah, the bottom 2 are Prince of Pennsylvania and One Step Away in that order for all 3 of us.
It deviates a little bit, but yeah.
And Speed is number 1 for all of us right now.
Yep.
Which is great.
Is it true that this is actually, with the exception of My Own Private Idaho for Ev, so like our top 4s are essentially just rejiggered kind of versions of each other, which is great. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
We all agree on what the good ones are. That's important.
We do.
All right. We reckoned.
We have reckoned.
We're gonna update these, And then I have the spot on the website where these are now public for everyone to look at. And maybe we'll solicit people for season 2 to give us their rankings as well. I'd be curious.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the people we follow are constantly ranking and recategorizing these Keanu Reeves movies, and some bafflingly so, in my opinion.
Yes,
of the ones
some
I've seen.
bafflingly so. But I will never get tired of the ones you've seen. You don't have to go through and watch some of these. I definitely recommend you don't go through and watch some of these. But like, of the ones that you've seen and of the ones you have opinions on, tweet it at the Cool Breeze account, tweet it at me. I want to see your rankings too. I definitely think that we should have listener submissions for rankings because I want to read them. Even if nothing else happens with them, Whitney wants to see them.
Ooh, you know what? We could build a like one of those Google Doc submit things and just have a bunch in a row. So you could put
like a form,
like a form, very much like a form. Yes,
possibly exactly like a form.
Very similar.
Possibly 100% a Google form.
But that'll be an easy way to aggregate all that stuff, so we don't have to try to maintain. It's like, just give us your name or don't, whatever your alias is. Tell us a couple things. Top 5, top 10, whatever. And we'll see what we see.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's super interesting. And I also think it's interesting how they change for people over time and how they change for people, like what your top 5 Keanu is right now versus what it's going to be, in a year. And also doing it in time with like, out of what we've seen so far, you can only choose your top 5 out of, what we've seen so far. What would that be, knowing that there's a bunch of movies that he's made that are people's top 5 later on and stuff. So,
yeah. If you just went back 6 years from today, before John Wick came out, my top 10 is a completely different list.
Wildly different.
So, and not even
spots 1, 2, and 3 don't exist.
Right. It's like, it's just 3 question marks. It's like, huh? I think there's got to be something better, right?
I'm curious to see when we get to that point, if John Wick 2, and John Wick 3 really are 1, 2, and 3 like I think they're going to be.
It might be. However, I will say that, at least in my humble opinion, that is not the correct order of the John Wicks. So that's just me, though.
It's not my order either. Yeah! It's John Wick 2, John Wick, and John Wick 3.
Uh-oh.
It's controversial. How can you say something so controversial yet so brave?
And I loved John Wick 3. I loved it. But I still think that the pared down nature of John Wick puts it, like, the fact that the budget was so low, the fact that they had so little to work with, and it's literally just like a cameraman following Keanu around while he's shooting.
Dream job.
And the fact that it plays so well without the huge cast, without the special effects, without the over-the-top wackiness of the world-building stuff that the other ones have. Like, the wacky world building is more up my alley, and those are more my kinds of movies because of it. But I think the fact that I'm usually not a straight-up sort of action-y kind of a person. Like, I don't like the Bourne movies. I don't like, if there's no humor in them, I'm not really interested in action. And John Wick didn't have much humor. But I was so interested in it, and I was so interested in the world that they built, that I just feel like the storytelling there gets it more points for me.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think the top 3 are going to be the John Wick movies by the time that we have caught up. And I think that's wild. But we'll see. It might be different.
You haven't seen Toy Story 4 yet, so...
I haven't seen... I can guarantee you Toy Story 4 is... Toy Story 4 could be the best Pixar movie ever made, and it is not going to unseat any John Wick movies. All
right. Do we have any other thoughts? I love when we get into this stuff, and it's kind of unstructured. I don't know what you call that. What do they call that in school when it was just like a free period almost, but you still had to do stuff? Am I making this up?
Oh.
Is that a real thing?
No,
I didn't go to school, so I don't know.
we called it study hall.
Study hall?
I don't even know what grade people are in when they're a certain age or anything. I have to do math. Like, okay, so if you're 6, you go, then what age would you be in 11th grade? I have to do all that mental math because I didn't do any of it. So
right. I felt like there was a a word for that, or maybe it exists now, where it's like we get unstructured play or whatever we want to call that. This is what these episodes are, and I really appreciate them because we kind of go off the rails quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't really think anyone's here for us being on rails. I think
truly.
I think everyone's on board with it, but we do definitely go off the rails.
That's why you're both here, and thank you again for joining me on this journey.
This has been a delight. I love doing this podcast and watching these movies, even when they're terrible movies that I will never watch again.
It's perfect. It's perfect. You can find our website at coolbreezepod.com and access all of our episodes, the list of films we'll be reviewing, and more. You can also reach out by emailing coolbreezepod@gmail.com or hitting us up on Twitter at coolbreezepod. I guess at some point I'm probably going to have to add the Patreon information in here too. We'll do that next week. It'll be great. If you think this is a podcast you can get behind, here's where it would go. Please give a subscription on your preferred platform, a review, or in the future, subscribe to our Patreon. We'll be back next week. But until then, Whitney, where are you on the internet?
I am at Whitney_Nelson on Twitter. And if you're interested in my Instagram, it's Whitney Nelson with no underscore. But mostly it's pictures of food that I've made. And then just recently, my most recent Instagram was a picture or a video of me playing with a vomiting egg toy. So that may or may not be your thing. That's cool either way. But you can find all my other podcasts there as well. Historical Hotties is where we talk about different categories of dead person to figure out which one is the sexiest. We have Myth Takes, which is a RPG real play podcast. We've got Almost Better Than Silence, which is about video games that we're playing. And then coming up shortly is Fast and Furious, Extremely Fast and Incredibly Furious. But you can find links to all of those Twitter accounts for all those podcasts and more information when new episodes go out and all that kind of fun stuff if you follow me on my Twitter. And also CC me on anything that you send to the Cool Breeze Twitter, because I want to see things like rankings or, if we get to that point where we have official Google Forms or whatever, then you won't. I'll see them anyway. But yeah, opinions and stuff. I want to see what you have to say about Keanu.
Hells yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good.
So get at me on Twitter.
Evan.
Yeah.
You're probably working on stuff. You're just being real sneaky on the internet. I got a feeling.
I'm working.
Tell us where people can find you on the internet.
I'm on Instagram at Evan Acree, ACREE. That's a pretty good one. That's probably where actually, I don't know where I'm most active. But yeah, there's things coming, things in the works. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Pretty exciting.
All right. I mean, your last Instagram post was June 16th. Is that where you're the most active?
I appreciate you checking.
I had to.
Thank you for keeping me updated on that.
Yeah, is 6 weeks ago really your most active profile?
Mm-hmm.
Truly,
Cool.
Evan's most active account on the internet is this. It's weekly. And this is it, right?
Yeah.
You can keep up with
subscribe
me.
to this podcast if you want more of Evan, because this is where you get it.
Amazing. Truly.
Subscribe to my Instagram if you want less.
Right. If this is too much, Evan, you're gonna want to swing over to Instagram. That's where it's low pressure, low pressure.
But don't go near my Twitter. It's just a radioactive heap of trash.
Fun. Super fun.
Yeah, it's awful.
I'll keep it short. Just follow me at Dark Driving on Twitter. I'm going to be tinkering away at Cool Breeze Pod also. Set all of the things that we talked about on this episode. It's very exciting. I love data. I love collecting data and hoarding it and manipulating it in interesting ways. Not creepy ways.
He's like a dragon, only instead of sleeping on a pile of gold, he sleeps on a pile of data.
I have all these numbers, and I'm like, what can we do with these numbers?
Building a nest
of
data.
It's true. It's like, oh, look at this. Look at these.
Have you seen the X-Files episode with Eugene Toombs, who rips people's kidneys out and is really stretchy?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he makes a nest out of like newspaper. That's Andrew, only it's data.
Wow.
Like, look at these average episode times. Look at this average number of notes that we have per episode. I have all this. I don't know what I'm doing with it, but I have it, and I need more. Feed the beast, as it were. At Cool Breeze Pod. Check it out. Well, on that very weird note, and this very weird exit of an entire episode, truly bizarre. Thank you all for joining us. In the words of Bill S. Preston and Ted Theodore Logan, be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. Let me see if I can remember the intro without having a script in front of me. It's going to be fun.
Hello and welcome.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that's really good.
Is that what I sound like? I'm changing it. Season 2, I'm changing it.
Yes, it is. No, the inflection was perfect.